Hey, good afternoon, class. It's your instructor Rob Ware here, and I wanted to just take a moment to talk about our topic in the discussion panel this week, which is definitely a very interesting topic. We talk about managing diversity in the workplace. Right away, I think our minds start racing. We think about color, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American. We start thinking about color. We even start thinking about male, female. Sometimes we talk about age, younger versus older. But a lot of times we end up forgetting about what we're talking about in this week's discussion, which is disability. People with disabilities, and that is definitely growing in our society. And honestly, it is hard to if we're not one that happen to have a disability, and we don't know of someone that might have a disability. It really doesn't affect us day to day. We really don't think about it honestly. But I'm looking at this question, and I'm looking at like, man, how would it be if I was in a wheelchair, knowing that I had the credentials, I knew my job inside and out. But would I get a fair chance when I rolled in on my wheelchair? Would the management team and those leaders in that organization give me a fair chance as the next guy that's walking in with both legs and able to move around a little bit easier than myself? And I would honestly say that I would think they definitely would look at me weird right away, and I would already have X's off on my list before I even open my mouth. I think I would be qualified, obviously, because they pick candidates before they see them. They don't ask for a picture. So they know I'm definitely qualified, but as I walk in and roll in, that definitely could change the subject. And I know this kind of firsthand is a little bit different. But a couple years ago, my oldest daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. And she's healthy now and everything's great. You wouldn't even know that she had leukemia if you seen her today. But I noticed that when she lost all her hair and she went completely bald, just the looks and the stares that she got. And before that time, we never even realized, I mean, how many people suffered from leukemia, how many children suffered from it. And, actually having to be our daughter, it really hit home. And just to see how people treated her and even her own classmates and people looking at us weird at the store and stuff didn't make her really feel good at all. They didn't get the chance to know her as a person or anything at that nature. They just looked at her because she was a little differently. And it just makes me think about our readings in the chapter in page 205. They talk about the American with Disabilities Act. Employers may not discriminate in the hiring of persons with disabilities. Okay. Furthermore, employers are required to provide reasonable accommodations to enable individuals with disabilities to perform their jobs and communicate effectively. Now, they have this act in place, um, but at the end of the day, it's hard to know if people are really following this act, and if things are actually becoming fair or not. So just looking at that discussion this week, really take some time and think about it. It's hard for us if we're not one with a disability, but you might have someone in your family. You might have gone through something, and then it really opens up your eyes. And then I ask ourselves, as leaders, when we have that choice, are we going to discriminate against someone that might be different than us? And that's huge. So, wanted to just touch base with you guys. If there's any questions at any point during the week, anytime, please email, reach out. I'm here to help. Hopefully, things are going well by the looks of the grading and stuff. What I'm seeing, class is definitely looking great. Let's keep getting after it.